Welcome back, guys. I tried connecting a domain name to my Google Blogger from Hostinger. So right now I want to use another domain name platform to connect my domain name that I bought on that platform to Google Blogger, just to give you variations of how to connect your domain name to Google Blogger. So right now I'm going to come to Namecheap. So Namecheap is one of those platforms you could get domain names. I'll show you how to get domain names on Namecheap. So right now I want to show you how to connect domain names from Namecheap. I want to show you how to connect it to Google Blogger. So it's a very easy step, just the same way we did for Hostinger. That's the same way we're going to do the DNS settings for Namecheap as well. So let's go right now. So I'm going to visit Namecheap and I'm going to log in with my account details. I have an account details already, so I'm going to log in easily. All I have to do is to sign in, and to sign in, all I have to do is to click on sign in, and I have this account, so I'm going to sign in straight away. So I have a Google Authenticator set up, and I'll be sent the OTP and all that. So all I have to do is to open my Google Authenticator app and try to input my OTP code from Google Authenticator. So I'm going to input the code right away. So right now I'm trying to do that. So this is where I'm going to input my code, which is 404753. So I'm going to input that right away just to log into this. And having to input this, I'll be able to log into my domain name, and here are all the details of my domain name, and this is my current active domain that I bought on Namecheap. So right now I want to set this up for Google Blogger. All I have to do is come to my Google Blogger, which is right here. I'm going to open my Google Blogger right away. So I'm going to come to where my Google Blogger is hosted. It's hosted on this Gmail account. So I'm going to just come to Google Blogger to access the dashboard, and having to access the dashboard, I'm going to come to the settings, and having to come to the settings, I have a custom domain that I imported before, but I've removed that. So I'm going to add a new custom domain, which should be www.aapsds.com. Yes, so it has to be aapsds.com. So I'm going to save that, and having to save this, I have this particular domain name set up on my Hostinger already for a website, which is this website, as you could see from here. When you access this website, I have it set up for a website already, and it's going on perfectly. But once I have it changed now, all that will change. So right now I'm going to try to change the hosting settings and all that. So let's go back to what we're doing. So I'll come back to this, and right now we've been given the DNS settings where I'll change the two synonyms. I'll change my synonyms to two synonyms. So all I have to do now is to come to my Namecheap account, and I'll try to set this up. So I have my domain list right here. All I have to do is come to my domain list, and having to come to my domain list, I'll be able to see manage. This is what I need. I need this manage button. So I'm going to click on manage, and having to click on manage, you will see my domain name right here and the name servers attached to my domain name. So I could do a custom DNS and redirect my domain and all that. So I have all these right here. You could see we have advanced DNS, and advanced DNS just suggests different host records and personal DNS server. So you can have all those. So let me just go back to my domain and trying to set it up. All I have to do is to change my name server. So all I have to do now is to add a name server. All I have to do now is to change my is to add a is to add a record. Of course, all I have to do now is to add a record. So we can proceed to advanced DNS. What we need to do is to proceed to advanced DNS to add our new record. So I'm going to come to host records. I'm going to change my DNS type. That's how to try to. So I'm going to change my DNS type. So to do this on Namecheap, all you have to do is come to advanced DNS, and having to come to advanced DNS, I'll be able to connect this. All I have to do is to add a new record. I'll click on add new record, and having to add new record, I have different records right here you could add. So we have a record and all that. We have a record. So let me just start with my a record right now. and having to have a record. I have the host, I have the value. So right now, let me put on the host. So we need to add our A records, and these are the 6 IP address we are going to point our A records to. So we are going to have here, you need to create this record for your domain. So yes, so let me point to these these 4 IPs, and yeah, we're going to do that. So coming back here, I'm going to give my IP address right here. I'm going to give an IP address right here, and let's see what it's going to be. So I'm going to host will be Google. So let's see what that will be. So host will be Google, and let me just see what this will be. So we have this, and we're going to add a new record. So here we have different records right here. So I want to add a new record, so I'll save this. So having to save that, I'm going to add another IP address. So let me add another IP address from here. As you could see, it's showing all these. So it's going to be at. As you could see, it's going to be at. So the domain names will be pointed to at. So let's do that right away, because the first one we put here is pointed to at. Let's see. So let's see, this is pointed to Google. So I'm going to delete that. Yes, I'm going to delete that record. So let's do this again. So this will be at, yes, and the first IP address will be inputted. So I'm going to save that. I'm going to come to the next one. I'm going to input the next IP address, which will be at. I'm going to add new record, and I'm going to say at, and I'm going to paste the IP address. I'm going to accept that. I'm going to come here again. I'm going to use So I'm going to add the next IP address, which is this. I'm going to add this. Yes, this will be the second. I'm going to come to advanced DNS. I was able to add that. So I'm going to add the third. I'm going to use my add to add the third again. I'm going to add the third, add new record, and I'm going to add an A record. I'm going to refer it to an at, and I'm going to paste this. I'm going to Control V to paste the third domain name, and I'm going to paste the third. I'm going to point the last right now. I'm going to point this, I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to come here. I'm going to add new record and a record, and I'm going to give it the arts again, and I'm going to paste the last IP address. Then I'm going to have this. So we have the 4 records all set already. And right now, all I want to do now is to create a CNAME. So yes, we are going to have a CNAME created. So yes, let's add record, and let's look for how to add a CNAME. So here we have, from this description, as you can see, there's a CNAME record, there's an AA record. So here we are, once the details are inserted. So let's see, I'm looking for a CNAME record. Yes, it is CNAME record. So I'm going to input my CNAME record. So coming back to my blogger on this hosted blogger. So I'm going to come right here and copy my CNAME. The first is www dot. So I'm going to do that. That will be the name. So copy. I'm going to come back here. I'm going to come back to my name chip. I'll say www, and this will be pointed to Google Blogger. So I'm going to say ghs.google.com. I'm going to input that. No, this shouldn't be automatic. This should have been 30 minutes here. This should be 30 minutes, and I'm going to do that. So I'm going to add a new record again. I'm going to add a new CNAME record. I'm going to say CNAME record. I'm going to do www again. No, that will not be www again. So when I check my Google Blogger, and I check my Google Blogger here, you'll see that the next one says this is the name is this, and the destination. So I'm going to come back here. I'm going to input the name of my host, that will be this, and I'm going to input the targets. I'll come back to my Google Blogger here. I'm going to copy the destination. I'll copy to the very end, and I'm going to copy that. So let me do the destination again. I'm going to copy the destination. So let me copy the destination from here to the very end. So I'm going to copy this and I'm going to come back right here. I'm going to go back to my name chip to paste that. So I'm going to paste this. So it will take 30 minutes for this to be done. So I'm going to just click on this, and here I just saved all the details. So right now I'll change this to 30 minutes as well. So here we're going to change that to 30 minutes. So we'll be waiting for 30 minutes for this to happen, and here we just change all the records on Namecheap. So when you try to refresh, let's try to see. So I'm going to save this, and that way it gets to save the settings, and we could not update the settings. So I'm going to save these settings right now. So let's see what could be the stumbling block. So now let's come back here and see what we have. So yes, we have okay. So this dot should be out. So let me just do this and see. Let's do that right there. So let's save it right now and see if it will save this time around. So right now it's saved this time around, and you would see the changes. The change to take effect anytime soon. So when I try to open this, you're going to wait for it to be redirected, but we are waiting for it to be connected, and right now we just make a connection between Google Blogger and Namecheap, and the settings has been saved. So we are going to wait for that to be authorized. While we wait for that, I'm going to see you in the next lesson where we get to talk more about you doing some major setup here on Google Blogger. As you could see, it's pointing to a ipsds.com already, but it's not yet active because we gave it 30 minutes response time. So it's going to take like 30 to 1 hour, 30 minutes to 1 hour to respond. And when it responds, once we click on the view blog, we're going to be directed to www.aipsds.com, which is what we just did. I hope to see you in the next lesson. See you there.